Welcome, Deronda here with Foods 101. Today, I'm showing you how to make a thin mint chocolate cake. Thinking about those popular Girl Scout cookies that come out once a year? You're in for a real treat. The ingredients you're going to need is 1½ cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of canola oil or vegetable oil, even coconut oil will do, 1/2 teaspoon of pure mint extract, 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Make sure you use pure, it'll make all the difference in flavor, 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is going to be the cake part. Now for the filling for this cake, you're going to need 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar or powdered sugar, or some of you in the world will know this is icing sugar, 1/2 cup of butter at room temperature, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of mint extract. I've got them mixed together here, and 2 tablespoons of coconut milk, or if you want to substitute this with half and half, you may. This is going to be the filling part of our cake. And if you'd like to tint it with green food coloring, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and leave mine white. For the glaze, you're going to need 1 1/4 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1/2 cup of coconut milk, or you can substitute this for half and half, and a pinch of salt. Let me show you how simple and easy this is to get together. For the cake part, we're going to add all of our dry ingredients into a medium-sized bowl. That's the cocoa powder, the sugar, the baking soda, and the salt. With the whisk, we're going to incorporate these dry ingredients until they're well blended. And that cocoa is going to make this so fantastic. Set this off to the side. In another bowl, we're going to add all that water, the oil, the pure mint extract, the vanilla extract, that cider vinegar. With a whisk, incorporate these ingredients. Back with those dry ingredients, we're going to add our wet ingredients right into our dry ingredients. And we're going to mix this until the dry ingredients have well combined with the wet and vice versa. Twist them around until your batter is looking like this, nice and smooth. And we're going to add this into a 9-inch cake pan that I've lightly greased and floured, and parchment paper that I've lightly greased and floured that I'm going to add here to the bottom of my pan. You don't want your cake sticking to your pan. And if you'd like to use a cooking spray, you may do that too. Add all of our cake batter into our pan using a spatula to make sure you get all your batter out of your bowl and into your pan. Tap our pan. This will make sure that it'll remove all those air bubbles. Off to a 350-degree preheated oven on the middle rack for the next 25 or 30 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Use your timer and no peeking. 25 minutes are up on our cake, and I'm going to check to see what the center looks like. No batter on that toothpick, so we can take this cake out of the oven over here on a cooling rack and let it cool for 10 minutes before we remove the cake from its pan. Use your timer, because if you let your cake sit longer than 10 minutes, it's going to start getting soggy, and that's definitely something you don't want. 10 minutes are up, and with a little plastic knife, now I love using this because it doesn't scrape up the sides of your pan. You want to go around the cake just to loosen it up for extra security. After 10 minutes, your pan has really cooled so you can handle it with your hands. Now we're going to just jiggle it just a little bit. Flip it upside down. Lift up the pan, and there you go. We're going to remove that parchment paper, and we're going to let it cool. Ooh, you see that steam coming up. Taking another cooling rack, and I'm going to flip it the other way, because this is going to be the top of our cake. We're going to have this dome here on the top. Let this cool for 45 minutes to an hour. It smells yummy. To make the filling part, I'm adding all our butter into a large mixing bowl with a beater. I'm going to beat the butter till it's nice and smooth. And looking like this. This took about a minute. Add 1/2 cup of your powdered sugar. Whoop! That came out a little too fast, but that's okay, it'll work. Once it starts looking like this, we're going to add that mint and vanilla extract with your salt. Combine these ingredients. That took about 30 seconds, and I had it on high speed. Now we're going to add the remaining powdered sugar. We're going to add our coconut milk. A little bit at a time. Add the remaining coconut milk. We're going to go to high, and we're going to beat this for 3 minutes. After about a minute, you're gonna go in here and we're gonna scrape down the sides of your bowl. Once your second minute's up, you're gonna go in and again, you're gonna scrape down the sides of your bowl. And you can continue scraping down the sides of your bowl as you're running your beater for the next 1 minute. After 3 minutes, you've got this light, lovely, fluffy filling for the center of your Thin Mint chocolate cake. Cover with plastic wrap and set your filling off to the side till ready to use. To assemble the cake, we're going to cut our 1-layer cake in half. I'm using a serrated knife. You see those little teeth on the edge? That's what you're looking for. And slice in half. The best way to do this is to be sure to keep your elbow close to your body to get that one level cut. Now we can remove the top part. Back with that filling, we're just going to add it in here. And by the way, if you wanted to add green food coloring to this, you could add 2 or 3 drops to the last 1 minute of whipping your filling here. Spread it all the way to the edge of your cake. Now that you've got your filling to the edge of your cake, and make sure you get it all the way to the edge, come back with that top layer and we're gonna just push it down in there so you can barely see the center coming out from around the edge. I let my cake sit in the freezer while I make my glaze, no longer than 10 minutes. The glaze for the cake is the most simple part of the cake to make. Add your coconut milk into a 2-cup measuring cup. Make sure your measuring cup is microwave safe. We're going to microwave this for 1 minute on high. After 1 minute, heating up your coconut milk, we're going to add all those chocolate chips, and I've got them going everywhere. Add a little pinch of salt. With a whisk, we're going to go in here and we're going to continue whisking until our chocolate has melted into our coconut milk. And that looks beautiful. See that glossy chocolate glaze you've got here? And we're going to let this cool here in its cup for 5 minutes while our cake chills in the freezer. Back with my cake I've had in the freezer for about 10 minutes. I've got a piece of parchment paper here. I've got my cake here still on that cooling rack. We're going to start in the center by adding that glaze. And we're going to go into swirling motions. And it's going to start dripping down the side of your cake. And with your cake being a little bit chilled, it's going to help adhese the glaze to the cake. So let's push it over with the spoon. Make sure you do this evenly. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so fantastic. All right, push a little bit more glaze over to the side there. It's just going to slowly drip down the edge. And you may want to take your spoon to make sure you get the entire edge covered. You can do whatever design here on the top you feel comfortable with. I think I'm just going to make a little swirl. That looks fantastic. Let this set up until the chocolate has hardened. To transport my cake to a serving platter, I take a spatula really super thin and I go underneath to make sure the edges have completely loosened, and I just slide it right on to our serving plate. We got to go in here, get us a slice and see what it tastes like. Ooh, that glaze just is so nice. And now I would rinse my knife off in between cuttings so you can get nice smooth cuttings. And I will go in here. Wow, looky there. Look at that glaze. That chocolate cake with that mint filling. Ooh, I can't wait to try it. We'll put it over here on a plate. Let's go in here and give it a try. Wow. That chocolate cake, mint filling. Here goes. Wow. Addictive. Delicious. That mint coming through on that filling pairs perfectly with that chocolate cake and that glaze. You will not be disappointed in this thin mint chocolate cake. I'm Deronda with Foods 101, and look on the inside. Just look how fabulous. Give me thumbs up, leave me a comment, hit that notification bell to be the first to get my new YouTube food videos. Thanks a million for watching, y'all. Stay safe, and I'll catch you lovely people later.